In 1897, something was buried beneath Oak Island. Not inside a vault, not displayed in a museum, but hidden deep underground, exactly where it was meant to remain. For more than a century, no one even knew it existed. There were no records, no signatures, no explanations, only silence. That silence was finally broken when Vanessa Lucido announced that the Oak Island treasure had been found. What makes this discovery so different isn't the value of what was uncovered. It's the reason it was hidden in the first place, and who never wanted it discovered. For generations, Oak Island has been associated with pirate gold, lost fortunes, and endless legends. But what if the true treasure was never gold at all? What if it was a truth buried so deeply that history itself tried to erase it? Before we uncover what lies beneath the island, remember to subscribe to the channel, because some discoveries don't just reveal treasure, they rewrite history. The ground on Oak Island has never given up its secrets easily. For over a decade, the team has drilled, dug, and blasted, only for the island to push back every time. But this week, something changed. Vanessa Lucido, head of ROC equipment, stood beside the massive oscillating rig, watching the monitors closely. This machine is no ordinary construction tool. It's a towering monster of steel and hydraulics, designed to drive a steel casing deeper into the earth than ever before. The noise was deafening, a mechanical roar you could feel in your chest from 50 feet away. Then, suddenly, the sound changed. The roar turned into a violent shudder, and the machine stopped. The oscillator had hit something solid. Hitting rock isn't unusual on Oak Island. Glaciers scattered millions of stones here thousands of years ago. But this was different. The impact happened at exactly 150 feet deep, the precise depth where the legendary Chappelle Vault is believed to be. Vanessa immediately signaled the operator to stop. The tension was overwhelming. No one spoke. The entire team gathered around the spoils pile, a mound of wet gray clay pulled up by the hammer grab. They were hoping to see blue clay, the classic marker of the original money pit. What they found instead was far more shocking. Mixed in with the mud were fragments of hand-hewn timber. These weren't roots or natural debris. This wood had been cut by an axe, and more than that, it smelled ancient. The team rushed the samples to the lab. When the carbon dating results came back, they were staggering. 1,400 years old. That's not a mistake. The wood dates to a time long before Columbus ever crossed the Atlantic. This means someone was digging deep underground on Oak Island centuries before the first European settlers arrived in Nova Scotia. Vanessa also confirmed that the steel casing was perfectly vertical. The drill hadn't drifted. They were directly over the anomaly. Then came the water. As the oscillator continued working, water began bubbling up inside the casing. Normally, that's bad news. It suggests the infamous flood tunnels are active. But this time, the water carried something else. It was cloudy, thick with particles that shimmered under the work lights. When the hammer grab was raised again, it wasn't just filled with mud. The steel teeth were deeply scratched, gouged in a way that proved they had struck something incredibly dense. It wasn't granite, it was metal. And judging by how the machine strained, it wasn't a small amount either. Just when it seemed like the treasure was finally within reach, the island revealed its most dangerous move yet. Dr. Ian Spooner, who has been analyzing borehole water for years, examined the sample using a cutting-edge technique known as hydrogeochemistry. In simple terms, groundwater moves beneath the earth like a slow river. When it passes through gold deposits, it absorbs microscopic particles of the metal. By analyzing that water, scientists can tell if gold is nearby. These results weren't just trace amounts. They were extreme, levels so high they don't occur naturally. It was as if the water had been sealed inside a chamber, lined with gold coins for centuries. The data revealed zinc, copper, silver, and gold, the exact chemical fingerprint of a buried treasure cache. Zinc and copper suggest brass or bronze containers. Silver and gold need no explanation. And finding this combination at the precise depth of the Chappelle Vault is the ultimate smoking gun. The Chappelle Vault was first struck in the 1890s when a drill brought up flakes of gold. But the shaft collapsed before anyone could reach it again. Now, Vanessa has reinforced that exact location with a steel wall, and this is where things get even stranger. The team deployed muon tomography, essentially an X-ray of the Earth. Sensors were placed in boreholes around the money pit and left there for months. These sensors detect cosmic rays passing through the ground. Dense materials block them, while empty spaces let them pass. The scans revealed a clear low-density anomaly, exactly where the oscillator now stands. It's a cavern, a man-made chamber. And inside that chamber, the density spikes again, indicating a massive metallic object. What most people don't realize is that gold is one of the heaviest elements on Earth. When present in large quantities, it distorts data in a very specific way. Dr. Spooner's readings match the exact signature of the famous Attica Mother Lode discovered in Florida. But this isn't scattered across the ocean floor. It's neatly stacked inside a chamber, 150 feet below Oak Island. The evidence is overwhelming. Ancient wood, metal impacts, water chemistry, and muon scans all point to the same conclusion. In a courtroom, this would be enough to convict. The location has been pinpointed. The treasure is no longer a legend. The treasure is no longer just a theory. It is a physical object resting at the bottom of a steel casing. But knowing where the gold is hidden is only half the battle. Getting past the ancient defenses protecting it is an entirely different nightmare. For centuries, Oak Island has been haunted by a chilling legend. The belief that a seventh person must die before the island finally gives up its secret. To understand why this discovery matters so much, you have to look back at the long trail of tragedy this place has left behind. It all began in 1795, when 3 boys noticed a strange depression in the ground. As they dug, they uncovered layers of logs at regular intervals, 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet down. It looked like an easy fortune. But the island had a deadly surprise waiting for them. At 90 feet, they discovered a stone tablet carved with strange symbols. Shortly after, seawater came rushing in. Ocean water flooded the pit, forcing them to abandon the site and barely escape with their lives. From that moment on, the money pit became a powerful lure for dreamers, fortune hunters, and the reckless. The legend grew darker over time. It was said that 7 lives would be lost before the treasure could be claimed. So far, 6 people have died in tragic accidents connected to Oak Island. That belief casts a shadow over every operation that takes place there. When ROC equipment brought in heavy machinery, safety became the top priority. Vanessa knows the island's history. She knows about the Restall tragedy in the 1960s, when 4 men died within seconds after toxic gases filled a shaft. She knows about exploding boilers and collapsing cranes from the 1800s. The island resists. What's truly astonishing is the complexity of the trap system buried beneath the ground. Whoever designed it constructed 5 finger-like drains that run from the ocean directly to the pit. They were packed with coconut fiber and eelgrass to filter seawater and prevent clogging. Think about that. This system was built hundreds of years ago, without electricity, power tools, or modern pumps. It's a sophisticated hydraulic trap designed to flood the pit the moment anyone gets too close. For more than 200 years, treasure hunters tried to defeat it. They attempted to pump out the water, but the ocean always won. They tried digging around it, but the walls collapsed. In the 1960s, geologist Robert Dunfield tried a different approach: brute force. He brought in bulldozers and excavated a massive crater, destroying many of the island's surface markers in the process. He believed that if he dug deep enough, nothing could stop him from reaching the gold. He was wrong. The mud was too thick. The water was unstoppable. Dunfield walked away financially ruined, leaving behind a scarred landscape and another chapter of failure. This was the legacy Vanessa inherited, a history defined by loss, ruin, and unanswered questions. But she had something no one before her possessed: precision and the oscillator. Even so, one question still looms over everything. Who built this? As the team looks deeper, they're beginning to suspect the treasure may be tied to one of the greatest mysteries in religious history: knights, kings, and sacred relics. This is where the story takes a dramatic turn. If the carbon dating pointing to the 1400s is accurate, the pirate treasure theory completely falls apart. Pirates like Blackbeard operated in the 1700s. If this pit was constructed centuries earlier, we're dealing with an entirely different group. The leading theory now points to the Knights Templar. Historical records show the Templars were arrested and disbanded starting in October 1307. Yet, a large fleet of their ships vanished from France the night before the arrests. Where did they go? Many historians believe they fled to Scotland and, with the help of the Sinclair family, eventually crossed the Atlantic to hide their immense wealth somewhere beyond reach. Oak Island fits that profile perfectly. Remote, overlooked, but accessible by ship. But some theories go even further. Certain researchers believe the treasure isn't just gold. They argue the Templars may have possessed sacred objects such as the Ark of the Covenant or the menorah from Solomon's temple. The size of the money pit and its layered wooden structure closely match descriptions found in ancient writings. If this is true, Vanessa isn't just uncovering treasure, she's uncovering a sacred relic. The metal struck by the oscillator may not be a chest of coins at all. It could be the Ark's gold-covered exterior. Then there's the Francis Bacon theory. Some believe the treasure consists of original Shakespeare manuscripts, allegedly written by Bacon himself. According to this idea, the documents were sealed in mercury to preserve them. And here's the unsettling part. Traces of mercury have been found in Oak Island soil, even though it doesn't occur there naturally. If manuscripts proving Bacon authored Shakespeare's works were discovered, it would completely rewrite literary history. And then there are the star maps. One theory claims that the boulders known as Nolan's Cross align perfectly with the Cygnus constellation, the Northern Cross. The center of that formation points directly toward the money pit. This suggests the builders possessed advanced knowledge of astronomy and geometry. They weren't just hiding treasure. They were building a monument, one designed to stay hidden until the right moment or the right technology emerged. The most unsettling theory of all suggests the money pit itself may be a decoy, that the real treasure lies even deeper, hidden behind a final trapdoor, waiting for one mistake to destroy everything. And now we've reached the moment everyone feared and hoped for. The oscillator sits directly above the target. The water glimmers with traces of gold. The wood dates back to the age of the Templars. The entire world is watching. The casing is in place, but they can't simply pull it out. What happens next may change history forever. If the hammer grab isn't used with extreme precision, it could crush whatever containers are down there and scatter gold into the surrounding mud. Even worse, if the object turns out to be the Ark or ancient manuscripts, one wrong move with that massive steel claw could destroy one of the most important artifacts in human history. Vanessa has proposed a plan that is as daring as it is dangerous. The team is considering sending a diver down. Think about that for a moment. Lowering a person 150 feet through a narrow steel pipe into complete darkness, freezing water and crushing pressure, with unstable earth surrounding them on all sides. It's an incredibly risky move, but it may be the only way to visually confirm what's down there without damaging it. Another option on the table is the freeze ring method. This would involve pumping liquid nitrogen into the ground around the base of the shaft, freezing the mud and water into a solid column of ice. Once frozen, the team could excavate the ice and slowly carve their way toward the treasure, carefully and deliberately, like sculptors revealing a masterpiece. The process would be slow and extremely expensive, but it would be safe, and safety matters because the curse still looms over Oak Island. Today, the skeptics have gone quiet. For decades, critics claimed the money pit was nothing more than a natural sinkhole. They argued the gold detected in the water was just background contamination. They insisted the wood came from earlier treasure hunters, but hand-cut timber from the 1400s at that depth cannot be explained away. Neither can a massive metal obstruction buried exactly where the vault was predicted to be. Vanessa Lucido and her team have achieved what no one else ever has. They controlled the water. They overcame the island's defenses. They found the vault. Now the question is yours. Should they send a diver down immediately, Or is that risk too great given Oak Island's deadly past? If you want to see what happens next, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the Timefold channel.